July 8th, 2025. Ms. Brake, please call the roll.
Committeeman Britting.
Here.
Committeewoman Hand.
Here.
Committeeman Lapani.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Payne.
Here.
Mayor Ciccarelli.
Here.
Administrator Ferrera.
Here.
Attorney Willard.
Here.
Okay, please join me in a salute to the flag. So please be advised that in accordance with Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, notice of this meeting was made by the posting on the bulletin board at the Hillsborough Township Municipal Complex and notifying the officially designated newspapers that the meeting would take place at the Hillsborough Township Municipal Complex at 7:30 p.m. on July 8th, 2025. Executive session is deemed necessary to begin at 6:30. There was no executive session. So let's move on to approval of minutes. May I have a motion and a second to approve the regular meeting minutes of May 27th?
So moved.
Second.
Any comments? No? All right. Roll call.
Committeeman Britting.
Yes.
Committeewoman Hand.
Yes.
Committeeman Lapani.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Payne.
Abstain.
Mayor Ciccarelli.
Yes. Great. Okay. So before we get into the committee reports tonight, I have a few general announcements. Hearts go out. First is about what's going on down in Texas. Our hearts go out to the people of Texas and all who've been affected by the recent flash flooding in the hill country of Texas, including more than, well, now it's up to about 160 souls who lost their lives. Please keep the victims of this catastrophic flooding and their families in your prayers. Our condolences go out to all who were impacted by this tragedy. So, stand strong with Texas. Family Fun Day, fireworks recap. So our annual, Hillsborough Township's annual Family Fun Day and fireworks was a great success. The Township Committee had a great time interacting with the community and making new friends. It was an entertaining and engaging day of music, food, and an awesome fireworks display. Special thanks to the Recreation and Public Works Department and everyone else who worked hard to make this event so special for the Hillsborough community. I think a shout out to whoever's responsible for the weather, because it held off this year. We got a couple drops of rain, but if you even want to call it that. So everything went off smoothly, not like last year where we had to cut the show short. So just a great day. Ribbon cuttings. Hillsborough Township celebrated 2 exciting grand openings on June 27th. We have Vane Aesthetics, which is on the right side there, owned by Delilah Masood, and Hillsborough Hair Studio, owned by Dana Camacho. Local officials, members of the Economic Business Development Commission, and community supporters joined in welcoming these 2 business association members. Their openings reflect both the township's ongoing growth and our strong support for local entrepreneurs. Both businesses fall under the cosmetic and personal care sector, one of the 4 key industries identified by Somerset County for its high local density and strong growth potential. In fact, Somerset County ranks among the top 20 counties in the nation for employment in personal care. So these 2 women-owned businesses are keeping us in the front of that. If you own a business in Hillsborough, make sure you're registered with our HBA to take advantage of the many valuable business resources that we offer. And speaking of the HBA, we had a summer social on June 26th at the Landing. It was great success with more than 60 attendees, networking and collaborating to support Hillsborough's local economy. Deputy Mayor Payne and Committeeman Lapani joined me as we mingled with members of the Hillsborough business community. Something we did this year a little different. We kind of passed the mic to the various businesses, let them introduce each other. Rather than trying to find somebody, we had them go and say, here's what my business is, so then people could then go directly to them if they had an interest. So it was a good event. Actually, this event was outside at first. The rain came, and it was a seamless transition to the inside at Pheasants Landing, or the Landing. So they did a great job. And so did the team. So kudos to that. And if you're a business, please sign up. So let's go to reports from the committee liaisons, starting with Committeeman Britting.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. All right, we have a couple awesome proclamations. The mayor's going to be handing out a little bit, so we won't congratulate some of you guys yet, but congratulations up front. So from an administration standpoint, artwork. The last day to submit original artwork for the Township calendar or planner is August 1st, a little less than a month away. Please see tomorrow's e-news or the Township website for guidelines and a link to the submission form. Now, the next is through New Jersey Motor Vehicle. Now, due to equipment issues, the NJVMC mobile unit event, originally scheduled for Wednesday, July 9th, has been rescheduled for Monday, July 14th, beginning at 9 a.m. So that is moved from Wednesday to Monday of next week. Though all the Real ID appointment spots are full, no appointment is necessary to apply for a handicap placard or drop off old license plates. We apologize for any inconvenience of those of you who didn't have a chance to sign up for the Real ID appointments or from the date for tomorrow. Next is the Economic and Business Development Group within Hillsborough. We want to congratulate the HBA member, Ada Young, owner of the Little Gym. Now, my son, Robbie, and Christian, my 9-year-old and then 7-year-old, went to the Little Gym. I just want to do a personal shout out for her too. She's absolutely fantastic, and the kids are in really good hands, and they learn a ton from her. She's fantastic. I'm just so glad that she won this award. So she won an award for the 2025 Ida Rosenthal Rising Star Award at the New Jersey Immigrant Entrepreneur Awards. Ada's work continues to bring local families together and help children thrive. That's absolutely true. The HBA is proud to celebrate her success, and the Township will be recognizing her further at a future date. So I just want to congratulate Ada on that. She's just a really wonderful person, so happy for her. Human Resources. Hillsborough is hiring for a variety of positions. We have a really great township, fantastic administrator, great training program, leadership development program, all the way around. Put a lot of effort into the employees. So please see tomorrow's e-news or the Hillsborough Township website for more details if you are looking for a position with the town. From a recreation standpoint, so we're going to stick with recreation here and youth. So first we'll start rec. Recreation is now open for the 2025 co-ed fall soccer leagues and girls fall soccer leagues. Fall softball leagues, so soccer, co-ed fall soccer leagues, and girls fall softball leagues. The registration deadline is August 10th. Sign up early, as some of the leagues will reach a maximum capacity before the deadline. Now, before you go to the next picture, we're going to be recognizing some baseball teams tonight, and I just wanted to take a moment, if you don't mind, clicking the picture. I want to recognize your Rising Star 9U district champions 2 years in a row. They were 8U champions last year, 9U champions this year. That's me and my son, Robbie. It's a proud dad moment. I wanted to put that on there for all the kids. They were featured in the newspaper earlier this week on Tap Into. And just all the coaches down there, just fantastic group of people. And I won't ever get a chance to do this again. I'm just proud of my son, Robbie. He got the winning hit in the semifinal game and the championship game to get us through. And I'm just very proud of him. He's a little guy. He's 57. Thank you. Thank you. I'll show him this video later. He's a very humble kid, so he'll appreciate this. And this team, in the past 2 seasons, are 12-0 in the district tournament and champions both years, and they've scored 140 runs in 12 games. So these kids are little juggernauts. They're fun to watch, and they can really hit. And now they can pitch and field, so now they're dangerous. All right, so yeah, they're good. True Raiders. True Raiders. Yeah, you got to teach them something. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, we don't let the other groups, they bring in all the club guys. We keep the town team together throughout the spring and summer, and we're crushing them. So we're doing really well. All right, so I just want to recognize, while we leave this up here, I just want to recognize some of our youth as well, too. But since you guys are here, I looked on the Hillsborough High School page on Facebook, and who here is going to be a senior? Raise your hand. Anybody? All right, parking tags. I want to make sure you heard this. Applications are open for parking tags, because I know you guys are going to forget. I know my wife's going to have to remind my son 600 times to do it, so I'm going to do it in public for you guys. So don't forget to get a parking tag. Just two other things I wanted to call out. So the All-State Group 4 second team doubles tennis, congratulations. Nihil Shankar and Sujay Nambarudi won the doubles tennis. Fantastic. Just wanted to recognize those two young gentlemen. And also the high school varsity volleyball player, Manan Vadawanan, for the 10th most aces in New Jersey, which is fantastic. So we have some really great athletes in this township. We have some Special Olympics. Boys varsity swim athlete Tommy Marquetta. He has just done a really great job year after year. I just wanted to recognize him as well, too. So I think when the youth does well, we should be recognizing them first and foremost. Last thing I'll talk about this evening is social services, and this is an area I'm going to challenge the baseball players here and the other youth here to give back to, because the The Social Services Department is a really strong department, great leadership, and really helps support people in need. So the Hillsborough Township Social Services Department is pleased to announce that it'll be hosting a property tax rebate filing event in partnership with the New Jersey Department of Taxation. This event is designed to help residents complete the new PAS-1 form, which now combines the Senior Freeze, Stay New Jersey, and the Anchor Property Tax Relief Programs into one simplified application. You don't have to go out to other sources. You can come here to the Social Services Department if you know someone who needs that to learn more about it. They're all about it. This event will take place on Saturday, July 12th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the Hillsborough Township Multipurpose Room. See details in tomorrow's e-news or on the Township website. And for the youth in the room, if you want to give back to the Township, visit the Social Services website and see the items that could be donated. And if you guys want to help them out, bring some stuff and some bags in and help them out. All right? So thank you very much, Mayor. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Committeeman. Next, Committeewoman Hand.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Good evening. Hello, hello. Just wanted to continue the shout outs. So Luke Sudol, who I think we also gave an award to a little while ago for swimming, just wanting to congratulate Luke. He is the Hillsborough High School track and field athlete, and at the Meet of Champs, he was actually the top sophomore in all of New Jersey for the 16-meter, which is absolutely incredible. It's funny because I think he swims long distance too, so apparently those are just some good lungs. So he is the top sophomore in New Jersey, and then he also finished 13th overall at the Meet of Champs. He has also had the top 10 times across the 800, the 1600, and the 3200 for sophomores in the state. Ending in this spring season. He was also named to the All-State Group 4 third team for the 16 meter. So congrats to him. Again, amazing athletes. I hope you're all taking care of yourselves. Moving along to wildlife. So wildlife applications are due Wednesday, July 23rd. The lottery will be on July 25th. And moving to pet licenses, and I know we just talked about the landing a couple minutes ago. So following a recent event in which a groundhog in that area, tested positive for rabies and unfortunately did bite someone, they are okay. It is essential to remember that any mammal can carry rabies. Rabies is commonly spread through a bite of an infected animal. It is almost always fatal unless treated before symptoms begin. If exposure is suspected, post-exposure treatment is available through hospital emergency rooms. It is not fun, and it involves lots of shots. So, again, we can all do our part. So how do we do our part? So it's a good time to remind everyone to license your dog. The reason we want folks to license their dog is rabies vaccination is required. That way we know that the pets in town have been licensed and vaccinated for rabies. Primary reason here, ensure dogs are up to date on the rabies, and licensing fees are collected and reinvested in the community to help with funding animal control services, sheltering stray animals, and providing veterinary care for those injured. Additionally, cats must also be vaccinated against rabies, and we have a mandatory cat vaccination ordinance. We also have a free roaming cat ordinance. So we went through this a couple months ago. If you're feeding stray cats, they are your cats. So congratulations on those cats. But it is your responsibility to also make sure that they are cared for. If you would like information on Fix the Cat program, they offer spay and neutering and vaccination services. Please visit the health department on the Township website. And moving along to the Hillsborough Library. So a couple topics here about creating a quieter space. So with the increased number of visitors, there's been higher levels of noise in the municipal building. To address this, the Hillsborough Library is in the process of ordering decorative acoustic tiles. I think some of us wish we had those in our home, but these are decorative acoustic tiles in the shape of leaves to go with the decor, and they're working with DPW to get those installed now, so that should help for noise in the library. Additionally, if you are thinking about becoming a gardener, the library has a free program where it's a seed library. So we have donations from regional seed companies and local gardeners. It could be vegetables, herbs, pollinator-friendly wildflowers, and these are available to you in the library, so check that out. It helps the biodiversity of our town. And last but not least, we have a visit tomorrow night. If you don't have plans, Senator Andrew Zwicker is going to be here in the library, and he maintains an office here in Hillsborough. He'll be touring the branch to see the recent renovations. He will also be receiving the Library Champion Award from the New Jersey Library Association. They are honored to host and provide that award. The public is welcome to attend, and that's at 1:30 tomorrow on Wednesday. Thank you very much, Mayor. Back to you.
Okay, thank you. Committeeman Lepani.
Thank you, Mayor. Wake, everybody? Okay, make sure everybody's paying attention. Because it's really cool outside, your HVAC unit's probably struggling. And if it does stop working, which it always does in the heat, not in the wintertime, and it needs to be replaced, you are still required to notify the building department before starting work. The licensed contractor must submit the permit application within 72 hours of the initial notification. This procedure only applies to like-for-like replacement of HVAC. So just keep that in mind if you should be unfortunate to lose your air conditioning in the middle of summer. The 2025 road paving program has started, if you haven't noticed. The engineering department received a schedule from an awarded contractor, Stylo Contracting, that the concrete ADA ramp reconstruction will start on the week of June 30th. Weather permitting, obviously, weeks like this slows things down, with milling and paving to follow. The plans are to have the section of Falcon Road and Bloomingdale Drive completed during the summer months while school is in construction, and on the remaining roads will begin shortly after in August. All roads should be completed by October. Below is this is the full list of the 2025 roads to be repaved. I know we've announced this before, but I'll reiterate for those who didn't. Beverly Drive, Kilmer Drive, Fern Way, Gale Court, Briar Way, Scott Drive, Barbara Drive, Arlene Court, Matthew Road, Daniel Drive, Walnut Grove Road, Falcon Crest Lane, as I mentioned, Falcon Road, the remaining portion that wasn't paved by the contractor last year to Sunnymead, and Bloomingdale Drive from the portion from Auten Road to Clubhouse Drive only. So please be aware of when construction starts and in your area and make arrangements for that. Okay, so the third quarter tax bills, estimated tax bills, each July will be coming out. This estimate bill reflects the current year assessment value of your property while calculating your total tax obligation. Do not simply multiply the third quarter amount by 4. So that's what a lot of people think, that when they get that bill, it's times 4. It's really a assessment value, as this will not give an accurate estimate of your annual taxes and will overestimate the true tax to be paid. Any adjustments to your total yearly taxes are reflected in the third and fourth quarter bills, so they're kind of a catch-up. Please keep in mind that the assessed properties values may increase, decrease, or remain the same from year to year based on the changes in the real estate market. Since 2018, as we know, property market values have steadily increased, not only in Hillsborough, but throughout the state, which has significantly increased assessed values. The tax rate per 100 of assessed value has declined from 2.419 in 2018 to 2.413 in 2024. Due to market trends and budget increases, slightly resulting in minimal increases. The overall tax rate typically does not increase while in an annual reassessment program unless budgets have increased. There is a tax allocation note. It is important for property owners to understand how their tax dollars are distributed. For those in the room, and there is a pie chart on the wall to kind of explain it. For the 2025 tax year, 14% of your tax is municipal services. So of every $1 you pay in taxes, 14 cents is directly related to the municipal funds. 16% is for Somerset County, 3% is for local fire department district, and 1% is allocated to open space. As usual, the largest portion, a significant 66%, is directed to the Board of Education. Now, we collect all the tax and distribute it to the different proprietary, so you are writing a check to Hillsborough Township, but just understand, only 14% of that is what we keep. As such, any substantial increases in your tax bill are primarily driven by the Board of Education's budgetary needs and decisions, not by the municipal government. There are several tax deductions and state abatements programs available, which was highlighted earlier by Committeeman Britting. We encourage you to visit the assessor's webpage to contact the office to learn whether you may qualify. The website is as follows: hillsboroughNJ.gov/departments/assessor, or you may call directly to 908-369-8077. Planning and zoning. Everyone wants to know, we go from taxes to planning and zoning. This is how we roll. Impervious coverage has always been a question, and we have our planner sitting in front of us with us today. What is impervious surface, and how is it calculated? Well, impervious surface is anything that cannot effectively absorb or infiltrate rainfall, such as driveways, patios, and walkways. Water absorbs into soil, and runoff is naturally filtered for impurities before it reaches creeks, streams, and rivers. As areas become more developed, our amount of impervious coverage increases, and natural filter systems are no longer in place to intercept the runoff, which has serious implications for water quality and, as we know, flood control. Please contact the Planning and Zoning Office for more information. Just as a note, stone driveways are considered impervious in Hillsborough Township too. So even though there is some filtration there, it is actually calculated as 100% impervious. That's my PSA from my planning board years. Deuces to you there, buddy. Now, continuing on, the work, the hurricane season is approaching. The Public Works Department is reminding residents of the importance of preparing their properties for severe weather. Nothing protects your property more than yourself, so especially when it comes to hazardous trees. It is every homeowner's responsibility to inspect their property for any trees that may pose a risk during high windstorms to their home, their property, or even their neighbor's property. Dead, leaning, or damaged trees can cause serious harm not only to your home, but as I said, also to neighboring properties. Taking action now can prevent costly damage and ensure everyone's safety and any inconvenience of losing power by a tree falling on a power line and causing your own demise. We'd also like to make residents aware of the importance of inspecting their properties for prompt communication with the township. If a tree from a township-owned property falls onto a residential property and it was not previously reported or documented as hazardous, the homeowner will be responsible for the cleanup of any damages that result. However, we want to be proactive. If you believe a tree on township property near your home may be hazardous, please report it. So I'll report that. If you feel that there is a tree on a township property that you believe it could be hazardous to your property, i.e. dead or leaning or in a bad shape, please report it to the township. We are happy to assist and address any concerns brought to our attention before an incident occurs. Let's work together to stay safe and storm ready. Thank you for doing your part. A couple additional notes regarding trees, coming from the tree guy. Ordinance 2024-16 is now requires a township permit for any trees removed. Trees removed must be mitigated by planting new trees. This is an NJDEP mandate. This is not a township mandate. This is the NJDEP. There are exemptions for mitigation if trees are dead or considered hazards to the home. Any land clearing for construction of new homes, pools, additions, or other purposes will now require a tree mitigation plan. If a project receives planning board or Board of Adjustment approval, the owner must follow the approved tree clearing plan. The engineering department will require a clearing survey as an as-built clearing clearing certification. The township will also have the township tree expert review the clearing to verify that only approved trees were cleared and required replacement of trees planted. Last two, please keep an eye out for the township road crews working on various repairs in advance of the upcoming road preservation and paving programs. Everyone's safety is our primary concern while these jobs are taking place. We ask everyone to pay extra special attention and drive carefully through the work zones. And lastly, the cleanup drop-off program. There are still spots available to take part of the 2025 Township Cleanup Drop-Off Program. If you still need to get rid of old household items or yard brush, please visit the township website to get more information on how to sign up. That's all, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Deputy Mayor Payne.
That's all. Good Lord.
That's it.
We all need water just watching you read. So I just want to on record, I slashed mine immensely. There's only like a page and a half, I swear. I'll be fast. So MAD recognition, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, annual New Jersey law enforcement recognition event took place on June 13th. This annual event recognizes law enforcement officers for their life-saving efforts as each impaired driver taken off the road is a potential life saved. Officer Gennaro won the Somerset County Top Cop Award of Excellence and Recognition of Excellence, and the Recognition of Excellence Award. Corporal LeBoy won third place as Top Drug Recognition Expert in New Jersey. Officer Nazarek won the Recognition of Excellence Award also. And Hillsborough Township is proud of these outstanding officers and thanks them for their continued commitment and to our community. Tomorrow night, the Ice Cream Social, connect with the Hillsborough Police Department at Ice House, just across the street, tomorrow from 6 to 9. In addition to meeting the local police, the first 100 kids get a free ice cream cone. You're included in that, guys. National Night Out. The Hillsborough PD is hosting the Township's third annual National Night Out on August 5th from 5:30 to 8 o'clock at Mountain View Park. This is a community policing at its finest and a great opportunity to get to spend some time with local law enforcement, amongst many other nonprofits and local agencies. Sustainability, there's still time to dive into Hillsborough's municipal water story, developed by the Sustainable Hillsborough Steering Committee. The water story aims to identify challenges posed by water in and around Hillsborough and gain an understanding of how to address these challenges. Here you can provide insight into topics like water quality and hazards, as well as submit photos to illustrate your feedback. Visit the Sustainable Hillsborough page on the Township website to view the water story and take your short survey. Finally, the VFW of Hillsborough, Post 8371, proudly announces a grant from Starbucks Foundation to support local veterans and their families in Hillsborough, Montgomery, and Branchburg. This grant will also strengthen community outreach efforts, including partnerships with local food banks, scholarships for 6th through 12th graders, and awards for Girl Scout Gold Awards and Boy Scout Eagle Scout recipients. On behalf of all veterans and members of Hillsborough Memorial VFW Post 8371, we are thankful to receive this grant. We want to express our gratitude to our local Starbucks for nominating us for the Starbucks Foundation Neighborhood Grant, and a special thanks to all the Hillsborough Starbucks employees for their positive interactions with all veterans, said Mike Schroffnagel, Post 8371 Commander. And that is all, Mayor.
Great.
That's how you do it.
Yep. So I have a couple of things to report on. First is Route 206. Well, that's not Route 206, but on Route 206, there's not too much to report since the last meeting. Right before the 4th of July, we asked the DOT to repair a sunken patch in the across from the Coptic Church, so they did that. During the past couple of days, I've seen them, a small crew out there weed whacking, taking down some of the jungle that's up along 206. So, we'll see what kind of progress they make there, but they really haven't done much in the way of productive construction. So we've got, continuing our calls out to the DOT and are looking for some more updates on that. That picture is actually Brown Ave. It's not Photoshopped. That's the new road and the old road. That project was paved and striped as of this morning. When officially opened, this extension will take truck traffic into the Hillsborough Logistics Center and ease some of the truck traffic, truck circulation and traffic in that general area of 206. There was a recent Ask the Mayor, and the question was, does this road go through to Roycefield Road? And the answer is no, it does not. We're working with various stakeholders and the properties to try and link this Brown Ave extension to get to Roycefield Road. But right now, this is just to get trucks into that, at the traffic light and into the center, so they're not pulling out into traffic and hopefully taking some of the traffic off of Dukes Parkway. So we have some testing to get back, some acceptance by the state. They have to do their final inspection. So we have a couple more weeks, maybe 6 weeks. It may take that long to get it there. It's tempting, but the road is ready to go. We just need to get the final certifications. So we're happy about that. And so that's about all I have on things related to 206 at this time. Today, right before this, I attended a ribbon cutting at a new basketball court at Village Green. The rehabilitation project included a new surface, new backboards and rims. This project was proposed in the 2023 budget, approved in 2024, and as part of the capital plan, and recently completed for the public's enjoyment. So we cut the ribbon, it's officially open, and we promised that neighborhood we'd get this done, and it's been resurfaced, so we kept that promise. We were there with the Parks and Rec Department today too, so appreciate all the work they did. Bathing suit, speaking of the Parks and Rec, the Parks and Rec Department and the Hillsborough Township Community Assistance Network, or CAN, are proud to partner with the 2025 Bathing Suit and Goggle Drive that's spearheaded each year by the New Jersey Parks and Recreation Association, New Jersey Swim Safely Alliance, and Dolphin Swimwear. Drowning is the leading cause of accidental death among children ages 1 to 4, and since swim lessons require a proper bathing suit and equipment, for many families, this has been one of the major stumbling blocks to access any types of lessons. Our community has proved many times that we can be counted on to assist those in need, and we're appealing to residents once again to help save lives and donate to this worthy cause. Please see the press release tomorrow in tomorrow's e-news for more information on where to make these donations. In addition, we had a meeting today with Somerset County's Community Outreach Program, and to discuss the program that they have going on right now. The Somerset County Board of Commissioners is introducing this new initiative to enhance support for residents in need of various services. The Community Outreach Program is aimed at directly engaging individuals and families within our community. This is a 2-year program that will include local canvassers who will be going door to door to connect residents with vital resources, including behavioral health services, food insecurity support, and aging and disability services. So they have a targeted audience. They know where they're going to be knocking. The goal is to ensure that every resident in Somerset County has access to help they may need, regardless of whether they're aware of the available services or how to access them. Through this outreach, they aim to provide a direct information and referrals to individuals who may be facing challenges but are not yet connected to the appropriate services. So they're really reaching out to those in need, and the meeting today was about the ongoing effort in Hillsborough. So the canvassers, you'll see them in green vests, green hats, are trained to respect the privacy of residents while offering those resources in a compassionate and non-intrusive manner. They're clearly identified with vests and identification badges, and the goal, again, is to increase awareness and provide support to residents who might not otherwise reach out for assistance. So we applaud that effort, and I'm assuming we'll be getting an update as they're working through the town in July. So that's my final report. And as always, you can stay connected with all events via the Wednesday Mayor's e-news and Thursday's Experience Hillsborough Bulletin. Be sure to follow and like the official Hillsborough Township Facebook page, X, formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram. Tune in to Hillsborough YouTube channel and sign up for Hillsborough Alerts for traffic and emergency notifications. So thank you. We have 4 proclamations tonight. I know you've all been waiting for this, so let me come down to the floor and we'll get started. So first up is the varsity baseball team. Let's go. Come on. So here they are, the Hillsborough High School varsity baseball team. There you go. The 2025 Hillsborough High School varsity baseball team are the NJSIA Central Jersey Group 4 state sectional champions. So, great job. The Hillsborough High School varsity baseball team obtained the third sectional baseball title in Hillsborough High School's 54-year history with a 14-11 overall record and the first time finishing the season over 500 since 2019. The varsity baseball team consists of the following athletes and coaches.
Kyle Simonitis.
Aiden Cooper.
Gavin Glazewski.
Shane Carana.
Brian Quebec.
Alex Reiling. David Candell. Tommy Kester.
Sean Patel. Jason Williams.
TJ Westlake.
Coach Matt Moscow.
Right. In addition to the team championship, TJ Westlake was named to the first team Skyland Conference All Delaware Division, and TJ Westlake and Braden Fox were named to the first team Courier News All Area. So congratulations. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the mayor and Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby commend the 2025 Hillsborough High School varsity baseball team, coaches, and parents, not only for their successful season, but for their hard work, dedication, and commitment to the sport, and to those principles of good sportsmanship, teamwork, and academic achievement which the organization endorses. So we have a related proclamation, so I want the team to stay up here, but let's give them a round of applause again. And we'll take a picture first. For the Baseball Coach of the Year. Is that you? So, yes, Matt Moscow. This is for you also, then? Matt Moscow was named Courier News 2025 Baseball Coach of the Year. So, congrats. Matt, a 2009 Hillsborough High School graduate and a former catcher for the baseball team, has coached the team for the past 4 years. He's also a social studies teacher at Aughton Road Intermediate School. The varsity baseball team won 6 straight games, becoming the lowest seeded team in the state to win a sectional title. Hillsborough won its 3rd sectional title in the program's 54 history and first since 2012. It celebrated its first winning season since 2019, finishing 14-11. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the mayor, and the Hillsborough Township Committee do hereby congratulate Matt Moscow for being named Courier News 2025 Coach of the Year and NewJersey.com Skyland Conference Coach of the Year, and thank him for his dedication and support towards our athletic community. we have the girls track and field, Hillsborough High School girls track and field? All right, Hillsborough High School girls track and field. The 2024-2025 Hillsborough High School girls track and field team are the Skyland Conference Relay Champions, Somerset County Relay Champions, Skyland Conference Champions, Delaware Division Champions, and Somerset County Champions. That's incredible. The girls track and field team consists of the following young athletes led by Coach Reefy. You might as well just step up and say your name.
Nicole Ambrose, Alexa Bakowski,
Rich Reefy.
Jason Rudick.
All right. See, that wasn't so hard. All right. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the mayor and Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby commend the 2024-2025 Hillsborough High School girls track and field team, coaches and parents, not only for their successful season, but for their hard work, dedication, and commitment to the sport, and to those principles of good sportsmanship, teamwork, and academic achievement which the organization endorses. So we also have another related proclamation, so I ask everybody to stay up here, but let's give them a round of applause. So in a related matter, we have, we're going to honor Rich Reefy, who has been indicted.
Wrong team.
That's awesome. Inducted into the Hillsborough High School Hall of Fame, so congrats. Rich Reefy was inducted into the Hillsborough High School Hall of Fame for this year as the head coach of the girls track and field team. He's led the team for the past 30 years. Rich is the longest tenured head coach at Hillsborough High School and started the winter track and field program as the only paid coach. Every school record for the girls cross country and winter and spring track and field has been set during his tenure. Rich has been named New Jersey Coach of the Year 8 times and was inducted into the New Jersey State Hall of Fame in 2009. He has coached 80 All-Americans, including national champions, 14 overall New Jersey State champions, and various other individual county and conference champions. Additionally, the girls cross-country team was overall New Jersey State champion 2 times and won Group 4 championships 7 times. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the mayor, and the Hillsborough Township Committee do hereby congratulate Rich Reefy for being inducted into the Hillsborough High School Hall of Fame. Thank him for his dedication and support towards our athletic community and wish him continued success. Outstanding. Give us a pep talk.
Okay, thank you, Mayor, and to the Township Committee, and congratulations to the baseball team and Coach Moscow. Like I said, we had the biggest team in the school, but probably the worst attendance. Thankfully, these 2 girls came. It just doesn't seem to work during the summer. I mean, it's a different sport. We were there, a lot of us 3 seasons, and also summer. And once summer comes, most of the time, a lot of them are just checked out. So next time, if you can get us during the school year, it'd be better.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you again. Let's we'll take a picture with you. Focus on you. All right, that concludes our proclamations. We're going to take a 5-minute break, and we'll be back at the meeting soon. Started. Welcome back. Moving on, the first order of business is tonight's consent agenda. Items 1 through 14. Give me a second here. So, do we have, well, first, we're going to hear all comments from the dais and from the floor.
Chief, can you close the door, please?
Yes, thank you. From the floor first, on any and all items on consent agenda, items 1 through 14. After that, if any committee member would like to take any item from the consent agenda separately for voting purposes, we'll give the opportunity to do so. There's no need to take items separately for the purposes of commenting or questioning. So, do we have any comments from the dais on the consent agenda? Anybody?
I have one.
Okay.
Or Anthony, did you want to go first?
Go first. It's fine.
No, please.
Thank you. Just on the new hires, Mayor, consideration number 9 for our Clean Communities positions, Matthew Bongiovanni and Christopher Vicofitz. Easy for me to say. Also, consideration number 10 on the 3 new police officers. Officers Anthony Santos, Officer Terrence Fox, and Officer Donald Alla. Consideration number 11 with the promotions of Sergeant Henry Olczyk to Lieutenant and Corporals Michael LeBoy and Brian Gorka to Sergeant. And with us this evening, the hiring of Nina Ramirez, and thanking Director David Coyce, our Plan Director, being here for the position of temporary part-time master planner. Comes with great experience, and it's going to be a great addition to the planning board and our master plan as we continue to move forward with that. So, thank you.
Great, looking forward to working with you on the master plan subcommittee. So, first order of business, should Dave have her schedule a meeting? Right into it. Let's see, any other committee on hand? You said you had some comments?
On resolution 8, question.
8?
Yeah. So on that one, is there this list of properties, going back 5 years? So this is the 5-year farm lease. Have any properties been added to this list? Is my first question, Mayor. Or is this consistent with what was listed 5 years ago?
I believe additional properties have been added.
Additional have been added.
Some.
The list of properties that was attached to the addendum?
Yeah, there's a list of properties here,
Right.
but it's every 5 years, right? So
You're
Are
asking
there-
what's new?
are there new properties? And then the other question was, I know these are going out to bid. Do we know approximately what we received, what income the town received from kind of the last batch 5 years ago, and what we would anticipate receiving this year? Because
It's been traditionally pretty nominal, a few $1,000s
Yeah,
For each or in total?
Each.
in total each year. Yep.
Well, hold on, it's two answers.
Yeah. Each property,
Each property is not
each
a
property,
nominal
but
amount.
what I'm saying, each property.
Yeah.
But each year, like 1,000, couple thousand. It's not
Per
a lot
property.
of money. It's not a lot of money.
yeah, per property. Yeah, I just didn't know where that came into the budget.
It's a nominal. It's really just to take township-owned properties or farmland preserve properties and continue to farm them. This actually is a change as recommended by the Ag Committee to move the bidding up to June or July so that the owners or the winners of the properties would be able to assess, and especially if you would lose a property, not invest in a property that you might lose at the end of the year. Also, there is a provision to have a rollover after 5 years, and if at some point at a nominal increase, but this actually is the first time we're doing it this early. We used to do it at the end of the year, but to the agreement or the recommendation from David Coyce and the Ag Committee, they decided to move it up, and actually used to be sealed bids, but this year they will be live bids. So therefore, it may bring more money. It or not, but we'll see. But
that
I
gonna-
wouldn't expect a large revenue, no.
Is that going to be here?
Yes.
Going to do that?
yes.
All right, that's,
It'll be like an
we
auction.
can see that.
So you have, how's your auctioneering skills there, Mayor?
Yeah, not too good.
How many got that one on there?
Sold. All right.
All right.
Any other comments from the dais on any items?
I had, if no one else had, I had one on 12.
All right.
So this was interesting. I just want to make sure I understand because there was no backup to this. It was just the resolution. So the way I read it, I want to make sure I'm reading it correctly. So each of the lines in here, and there's, I don't know, like 8, I'm guessing, 8 or 9 lines. Each one says needs to be increased by X amount. So I'll give an example. There was one, the first one, as far as the professional service contract with D. Francesco, Bateman, Gutzman, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. For the position of township attorney, it needs to be increased by $75,000. Original not to exceed amount $75,000. So it's doubling, right? Okay. And then the second one, same thing. It was $75,000, and now we're increasing it 100%. The third one, we're increasing 400%. The next one down, like each one, it's just increasing. So were these all unforeseen attorney fees or professional fees? A majority of these are attorneys. There's also some architects and bond counsel, some other things on there. So.
Mayor, as I understand this, because this has come up a number of years, the township has always taken the position where you guys allocated, you haven't only allocated $75,000 to the township attorney, you allocate much more than that, because you know you're gonna go through much more than that. But you guys don't enter the not to exceed amount and the full amount in the beginning of the cycle because you want to keep track of it. So that's what has been prior practice in the municipality. In order to keep track of it, you've always entered a lower amount. So when it comes up, you kind of take a look at it and adjust where you are. And so you know where you are. So that's what's been the practice of the municipality. Some municipalities just go right out and we'll say in the beginning of the year, 150, 200,000, an amount not to exceed 150 or 200,000. Your past practice has been always to award a lower amount so you can adjust at the end of the year to find out and adjust where you're at.
That's correct, and CFO acknowledged the fees are available for this, so our budgeting process.
Yeah, you already
Has
budgeted for it, yes.
Yeah, so it's, they've reached a threshold, and in order to bill, to continue billing, we need to approve expanded budget allowance for each of those service providers.
So per the notes that we were given last week, per the reorg, that was determined at the reorg, these levels?
Yeah, the original levels.
I'm sorry, was there a point?
Yeah, you have the notes, and it says as determined at the reorg, and the reorg minutes also reflected that.
Yeah, and now we're increasing them from the reorg amounts. So we're almost doubling all of them. So, Mayor, it did say on here that the CFO has certified that funds are available in the 2025 budget for said contract and services. Are those coming from another line item, or were those allocated under legal fees? I would hate to have to pull up the budget.
I just want to make sure that we're clear that we're not doubling them, as I think Mr. Willard had pointed out as well. So halfway during the year, so even though it might be $150,000, not to go back to the original invoice, we do this consistently in June, July to make sure we see where we are. Like Bill said, some of the towns just automatically up front say, here's all the money. So we look at where we are in halfway during the year to see, do we need more, do we need less? So every year we look at where we are to make sure, and actually in this year with more of the fees on affordable housing and some of the litigation, so every year it's going to fluctuate. So it's not doubling, it's just, it might look like it's doubling.
You're basically
but
authorizing it.
It's just authorizing the second half of
That's
the payment.
correct, Mayor. We're
That's all.
authorizing the already predetermined budget.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was I'm flipping through the budget, which is a giant document, trying to find if we have allocated those amounts
Well,
to legal, or is it coming from another line item?
If that's the question, let's handle this offline. We're here to vote yes, and if that's where you're going to go for this, that's homework maybe you should have done beforehand, if you wanted to find out if we're over budget or not. The CFO has confirmed that the funds are there. We're here to approve authorize the increased budgets, not to exceed budgets, for basically all the professional services. I think it was everyone down the line.
Yeah. So,
So is there another question or another item?
I'll just add to the conversation here. I mean, a lot of it is generated by what has been, as I think Anthony said, you have McMahon and Scott, which is a bond council, so we're obviously going to talk about doing a bond, so that obviously added some cost, but we had budgeted for that, knowing it's coming. Obviously, all our Leon Varkian is all the master for the planning and affordable housing that had to be done, which was a lot of billing in a very short period of time. After this month, I doubt there's going to be as much, but there was a lot of hours being billed by Mr. Bernstein and Varkian in the 90 days that we had to get this plan together. And so, we kind of went through that first allocation. So I would think that that's pretty obvious. And then our Pinoni is basically, that's based on how applications come in and reviewing of applications, stormwater mandates that we have. As those things come in, they need to review them. As applications come in from construction, we need to review those. So those are driven by need. So again, it was all budgeted beforehand, and this is just, as I said, just allowing us to exceed the first half that we had allocated at the reorg, which is what we've been doing for probably 15, 20 years probably.
right,
Yeah.
and so to my original question, I'm looking in the budget right now, and the line item for legal services was $250,000. We're now increasing that, almost doubling, so I didn't know what line item, where that money was coming from. So that's what I was asking,
Okay.
and I've not heard an answer to that.
Well, engineering isn't legal. Avokian isn't legal.
All, I am talking
Leon,
about
I'm
this
just saying,
specifically, the
the
legal
legal
costs.
part, and it's, each department has its own legal. So you have general township legal, and then you have the planning board legal fees. So it's not necessarily all one line item. So again, I think it is a large document. I think you need to maybe call our CFO, and he can explain to you where it is.
I'm just,
It's pretty
and
obvious.
as far as like the comment, as far as like doing my homework, I'm doing my homework, hence the questions. I'm amazed that nobody else has questions on this. So for legal services, again, I'll take it up with the CFO. For 2025,
It's
for
in the
legal
budget.
services and costs, miscellaneous, $250,000. Outside services, $83,278, and that's for 2025. That's what's in here. Again, when you look at all of these increases, that's way over that amount. And I'm just talking about the legal services, so thank you all very much. I'm sorry nobody was able to answer that one. That was my only other question. I didn't know if anybody else had one.
Any other comments from the dais? If not, we will go to the public. Comments from the floor on items 1 through 14.
Come on up.
Good evening, Maria Janusik, 720 East Freck Avenue, Manville, New Jersey. I'm also a Hillsborough Township property owner, Block 86, Lot 3, 2155 Camp Lane Road. And I do have some questions and comments in regard to Consent 12, the resolution authorizing adjustments to the not-to-exceed amount for various professional services contracts for the year 2025. In regard to the contract with DeFrancesco Bateman, Kunzman, Davis, Lair, and Flom for township attorney, this is nothing new because I think it was the same last year. It was $75,000 last year. I don't know if it was $75,000 the year prior. I know that previously it used to be $50,000, and then there was always an additional $50,000 added. And now you've got also for DeFrancesco, Bateman, Kunzman, Davis, Lair, and Flom, position of labor attorney, also a doubled increase. That's a lot of money. I think if these things are going to be done routinely, then it should be shown from the beginning of the year what's being paid to these law firms. Because, it's one thing to see it at the beginning of the year, there's 75,000, and then halfway down the line, it's increased, halfway down the year, it's increased double. Also, there is a not-to-exceed amount for Eric Bernstein and Associates LLC for the position of special counsel for affordable housing, also being increased from original 50,000 by another 50,000. Nothing is shown here. Eric Bernstein is also the planning board attorney. Is he also paid by Hillsborough? And what is his original payment? And has it been increased for him as the planning board attorney?
That one,
It's not, because it's not in the resolution.
Yeah.
so it hasn't been.
Well,
I think, Mr. Bernstein, you've asked this question before in planning board. A lot of the fees that Mr. Bernstein gets paid and planning boards are paid by the applicant
Escrow.
and escrow. The only thing that is billed to the township or anything that's outside of the application, if there's any consultation or work needs to be done. So those fees, his fee is generated by the applicant. That's why he's not on that list for this. But the affordable housing is strictly billed to the township, because that is strictly a township revenue that we have to pay to prepare for the affordable housing.
okay, but you said that there are some fees that are paid by the township to...
Nominal, yeah. It just, whatever he may have to bill outside that, the application, but not, I'd say, and I know Bill does some of that, probably 90% of it's paid for by the applicant.
So-
That's correct. Usually that's exactly what happens with planning boards and boards of adjustments. Those attorneys bill the developers' escrows.
So is there a record of the payments that are made to Attorney Eric Bernstein as planning board attorney for things that are not paid by applicants? Is there a record of that?
Those are records of all payments. They'd be on bill
Yeah, it would
lists.
be in, the billing,
So
claims
that-
lists each month.
So that would be available through an Oprah request?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And as was stated, these are huge increases over what was the original amount. So I think it should be shown next year what the higher rate is, instead of doing this, doubling in the middle of the year when a lot of people don't see it. Also, there's a lawsuit against the township. The widow of Patrick Chin, that's huge legal expense. How is that being handled?
Through the joint
Who's getting
insurance
paid?
fund.
What?
Through the joint insurance fund.
Joint insurance?
The insurance fund is covering that.
Okay. Consent number 11, resolution authorizing the promotions of Sergeant Henry Olshick to Lieutenant and Corporals Michael LeBoy and Brian Gorka to Sergeant in the Hillsborough Township Police Department. Are any of these officers detectives, or is this strictly lieutenant, corporal? Are any of these positions detectives?
Are you asking if they're currently detectives?
Yeah.
They're being promoted to corporal and lieutenant.
Yeah. Is there,
Oh, I said corporal, I'm sorry. Sergeant and lieutenant. Right.
so none of these are detectives?
Well, they're, in the past, are you looking for a resume? A history?
In their positions in Hillsborough
I think the chief is indicating that they're not,
I mean,
Or not,
Right.
yeah,
Don't read,
but they're not currently.
right.
2 of them have been detectives in Hillsborough. Okay. Can you say who? Thank you. Consent number 10, resolution authorizing the hiring of 3 new police officers in the Hillsborough Township Police Department. 2 of the officers are, no, 1 officer is being paid an annual salary of $87,874, and the other 2 are getting an annual salary of $58,726. What is the discrepancy? Why are there differences in these salaries?
yeah.
Tenure.
Tenure, okay. So Donald Alla, who is getting $87,874, he has how much tenure, how much experience does he have?
He has prior experience from another PD,
From where?
another police department.
And the other 2 officers, Terrence Fox and Anthony Santos, they're new. They have no prior experience.
Limited,
They had some experience, but
not
They
as
have
much.
not as
him.
much, yeah.
Yep.
So this is not like beginner, this is for individuals who have some experience.
Well, yeah, you're compensated based on your experience, just on like education and other factors.
Thank you. Consent number 5, resolution approving items of revenue and appropriation. And then it's showing that $27,803.73 is hereby appropriated under the caption of general appropriations, operations excluded from caps. So this exact amount is being given to Hillsborough, and Hillsborough is matching this? Is that what's going on here?
No.
How does this work?
You receive a grant fund, they receive the grant fund for $27,803. So you receive a grant fund, and we're acknowledging the receipt of that, and we're amending the budget to acknowledge that receipt, and then we're appropriating it.
We'll use it for the specific purposes.
Okay, and so what exactly is this recycling tonnage? Why does extra money have to be given towards that?
No, it's being appropriated under public and private programs.
Yeah, we're inserting it as a revenue budget item. So, public and private programs, so we'll be running, let me see here.
Well, because it's saying here CY 2025
Yeah.
recycling tonnage grant, $27,803. So why is that much money required for recycling tonnage? What's going to be done extra or with this money?
Hold on. Yeah, I'm
What?
looking at the paperwork here.
I'm
Oh, that's the
sorry.
check.
What?
Anthony, do you know, recall? If not, we can get back to you.
Yeah, I have
with
to get back to her. I
exact-
mean, we work with Mike Carr and we handle all the recycling buckets and all the recycling tonnage and all the work that he goes out at 5 o'clock in the morning and checks on all the residents, make sure we're doing that right, and partnering with the county. So I'm not sure exactly, because Hillsborough Township receives more grants than any town that I know of, according to our grant company. So there's hundreds of grants that we have, so I'm not sure exactly the specific one on the tonnage grant that we get every year. I don't know. I don't know the specific answers to it.
It's a recycling tonnage grant, doesn't mean it's necessarily for recycling, so we have to see what they may or may not define what it's gonna be used for.
Okay, consent number 4, resolution approving items of revenue and appropriation. And then this one is for a sum of $16,844.97. And this is for drunk driving enforcement fund. And so the same question, what is being added to this drunk driving enforcement, whatever is being done with this money?
It
That
has-
one specifically is used for overtime on drunk driving, like
Law
drunk driving
enforcement.
over to, yeah, like there's specific campaigns for catching drunk drivers.
Campaign, okay, but like what's involved in this campaign other than what's currently being done?
Overtime, I just said, overtime.
Mostly overtime.
So the police go out specifically with the intent of cleaning up the roads, right? So then that overtime, because they're not on their normal shift, this is an overtime detail for drunk driving specifically.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
That was it.
Correct.
Okay. So, any other comments from the floor? Seeing none, would anyone like to take any items separately?
No, sir.
Okay, hearing none, may I have a motion and a second to approve consent agenda items 1 through 14?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Committeeman Britting?
Yes.
Committeewoman Hand?
Yes.
Committeeman Lepani?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Payne?
Thank you. Yes.
Mayor Chicarelli?
Yes. All right, thank you. So now we have a public hearing for 2025-08 bond ordinance providing for various capital improvements in and by the Township of Hillsborough in the County of Somerset, New Jersey, appropriating $17 million, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $16,150,000 bonds or notes of the township to finance part of the cost thereof. May I have a motion and a second to open the public hearing for ordinance 2025-08?
So moved.
Roll call?
Committeeman Britting?
Yes.
Committeewoman Hand?
Yes.
Committeeman Lepani?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Payne?
Yes.
Mayor Chicarelli?
Yes. So on 2025-08, do we have any comments from the dais regarding the bond ordinance? Seeing none, seeing none.
I have questions. I was pausing for the rest of you. So first of all, can these items, so this is the public hearing. We'd introduced this last time. We're voting on this tonight, correct?
Yes.
Yes, so are these items able to be taken separately, the line items?
I don't think so. No.
One ordinance.
So Attorney Willard, just looking at you, that,
You would have to, it would be a complete amendment of the ordinance, and you'd have to reintroduce and readopt.
So no, we're here to vote on the ordinance tonight.
okay. So we had, I know I'd asked this last time, we did receive some backup on this. That being said, looking at the period of usefulness, you know, many of these items, you know, some are 5 years, some go up to 20. As far as the bond, what happens, you know, we're bonding for items that have a 5-year usefulness. We don't want to obviously be paying for them longer than we are able to use the item. Can you speak to that, Mayor?
I can. I spoke with bond counsel this week, and there's two parts to that response, two-part response. One, each of the life, the durations that are in the bond ordinance are based on the bond law. So we didn't arbitrarily make up the numbers. If it's 5 years, it's what the bond law requires you to put 5 years in. But in the bond, towards the end, they use a weighted average length, which for this bond is 17.33 years. So that is how the durations are calculated or brought in and calculated.
So we're still paying for something over a 17-year period, but you're saying it's the average period of usefulness for all the items?
Yes. Weighted average for everything in the bond.
Right, and the weighted average, I mean, the largest item is 11 million of the 17 with a 20-year life, so it's pulling it that direction. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, for example, B, the salt truck for Public Works has a average useful life of 5 years, which we know is completely false. We keep our trucks for mostly 10, 15, even 20 years. So just as an example of something that was put in there, it is way beyond 5 years of average useful life in real world situations.
Yeah, I thought that was wonky too, but it's bond law.
Right.
You know, like the way it's brought in.
Same thing, bucket truck, 5 years, way beyond 5 years in actual useful life, in real life.
And is this really a shift in strategy, Mayor? Just looking at this, there's a ton of items. Again, I'm thinking of like Public Works, these things that seem like they're, the library, things that are really at a desperate state, right? They need to be replaced. This is a giant bond. We have not done this before. There was really this pay-as-you-go strategy over the past 20 years. This, I feel like we're signaling a change here, and that maybe didn't work over the past 20 years. Now we need to go out for bond for really a tremendous amount of items. Even Public Works, they're saying that was, a 40-year-old building that is leaking. We know that there's a lot of issues there. But these things weren't addressed over time, and now we're needing to address it. So I feel like there's an air of desperation. Adding $17 million to the debt, I think roughly this brings us up to around $70 million from a township perspective, just looking at the debt.
You might want to check that
So
number.
I'm sorry, I was addressing the
No,
mayor.
I'm going to talk too, because I'm up here too,
allow,
because I would check that number before you publicly state that. I don't think you're anywhere near close. The difference
So-
between debt and bonds are two very different things.
I mean, are we not borrowing $17 million? Is this not debt?
It's a line of credit
It's a line of credit.
Yeah, we don't start paying for this
Which-
until
You
it's all
don't start
done.
paying for it until
until it's expended.
Understood. When we start paying for it, we're going to be up around 70.
Well,
No.
not necessarily, as other things roll off, and then that nut will decrease. But I would suggest, for example, some of these projects, especially some of the larger ones, are probably a good 2 to 3 years out before they're even realized. The DPW garage in particular, which is a large portion of that debt, or as you place it, bond, is by the time design and build and everything else, it's several years out. There are, without casting shadows, there's work that needs to be done to the library that, quite honestly, we are never reimbursed fairly by the county. It is all on our shoulders to take care of the building and the roof, which we've had meetings with the library, and they're like, well, this is kind of what you get. So we get, I don't know, $15,000 a year, if that. But we also have expanded our police department over the years, and we also have a very diverse police department. We have increased women's police force, so we need to have adequate locker rooms for them. So that isn't anything that was pushed off. That's a matter of reality. So we need to expand that. The building was built in 1991, I know because I was here, and that bond was given to build this building back in the day. And it is now time to make the necessary improvements to a 35-year-old building to bring it back to snuff. Though we have adequately maintained it, but it is time to do some pretty substantial repairs. And to place all that burden on a single tax year would be unrealistic. And the public, as I believe Joe Manzo said, when doing bonds like this, it gives all the people who will use this building over the next 30 years opportunity to pay for that as it should be, instead of putting it all on 1 year of bond. We also have an emergency repair of a bridge of $300,000, which has to be done. That has no fault to anybody, but it has to be done. It's a public safety. And then we also have some other things there that are really relatively minute in large numbers, but replacement of a boiler, a heat pump, rapid radios, a senior bus to add services to our seniors. So everything that you see here is to enhance the public safety and welfare of our community without overburdening them on a single tax year. So yes, are we adding some credit or line of credit and some work? I think it's actually a very fiscally responsible way to do it. There are other bonds that will be rolling off in the next 3 or 4 years possibly. So that debt will go away, as you like to lump sum it. But even said, I believe there was a letter that I shared with you with our $9 million rateable, and our debt service is far below most anybody else in the county at a .067. What was it, Mayor?
It might be lower than that.
Yeah. So Mayor, unless we're rolling off, 17 million over the years, this will add to our debt. So thank you very much, though, for the explanation, Mr. Lapani.
My pleasure.
Anything else? I do take exception with the characterizing this as an air of desperation. We've been talking about the projects that are in this bill for 2 years, in this bond, for a couple of years, at least most of them. We needed to move them forward. We needed to do work at the library. We needed to, change the floors out here, which we started prior to COVID, I think, and remains unfinished. There's some floors that need to be replaced in this building. The DPW, Rich Reserve, has been asking about, some of the facilities over there where they need to expand to handle the more diverse workforce as well. The current building just won't do it, so the time is now to do it, to use our significant financial strength and power to issue this bond, to make these improvements and get working to build back what parts of Hillsborough need to be built and upgraded and repaired. No air of desperation at all. It's just strong financial management and planning. Take great exception with saying it's an air of desperation. And that, I think that frowns on all the staff who've put in their time to come up with estimates, come up with plans, and determine what they need. There's no air of desperation at all. It's good financial planning. So do we have comments from the floor?
So I'm sorry, Mayor, I would say that, first of all, my comments are not directed at the staff, and we can go back in the minutes to
you
where
say that all the time.
Mr. Lapani had described this as the wish list from the department head. So I think that a tremendous amount of scrutiny should go into this process, so thank you very much.
You always say that you don't direct it at the staff, but you do.
I do not, and I take exception.
Whether you know it or not, the staff hear what you say.
I take exception to you representing the feelings of anyone besides yourself. Thank you.
Okay. I don't think I'm representing feelings. Back to the floor. I don't have to. I opened it up. The floor is yours.
Steve Cohen, 60 Oak Terrace. I think committee person Sean Lapani stole some of my thunder. I was thinking of the word frugal. After spending nearly 20 years on the dais with the planning board reviewing capital planning requests and picking and choosing what we could afford, what we can't afford, and doing our best to try to fit 10 pounds into 5-pound bags, it was difficult, to say the least. I think I spent most of the time fighting to make sure the police got what they needed, because I always thought that was the most important priority, even though it may have hurt Rich at DPW. So I think frugality has always been our keystone. Conservative physical management has been our keystone. I like the fact that we're finally deciding that we're going to fix issues that we've been discussing for almost 20 years. talking about this building. I can't remember when we weren't talking about this building. Do I have a time limit? Anyway, I think it's important that we fix, repair, catch up. It's a line of credit. There's not a lot of yearly costs on this. The bulk of a lot of the other bond issues that we have entered into in recent history, a large chunk was open land. We purchased a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. All right, that was a large chunk, but that's open land. That's open, that's unusable, never going to be developed property for the Hillsborough Township. Nobody was squawking about spending $14 million. I think it was 14. Yep. Not bad. Not bad for 72, huh? Anyway, Mayor, thank you. I think this is a great opportunity for the town to get straight on a lot of things at one time. I understand it's going to take a few years. That's the shame of it. And having spent most of the last 15 years working for a government agency, I understand how these things take a long time. So, thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from the floor?
Joseph P. Maloney, 27 Stonewick Drive, Hillsborough, New Jersey. Mr. Mayor, just to clean up a few items. Review, advise, and consent from our financial advisor saying that we can do this.
Is that a question, or?
Yes, it is a question.
Do we want to ask him?
He's on the phone. He's listening in, so.
Our bond counsel has actually been listening into the meeting. But yes.
Yes. Okay.
Absolutely.
Good. All right, so just a few other cleanups here. The bonds will be callable throughout the 17 years, so that when the interest rates drop, we can refinance.
Well, I don't, is that a yes? Because I know we roll them over, right, until the rate is optimal, right?
We want to ask
Oh, why don't we ask Mr.
Jessup.
Mr. Matt Jessup? Can he confirm that?
Hello, everyone. Matt Jessup here from McManaman, Scotland, Alabama. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. So I'm having a little trouble hearing the residents, but I think the question was whether the bonds that are ultimately issued pursuant to this bond ordinance will be callable. Yes. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yep. Correct.
Okay. So, yes, as a general matter, general obligation bonds issued by New Jersey municipalities are typically callable in year 8 or later. That can vary by a year or so, depending on what the market is looking for at the time that we actually sell these bonds. So for the first 7 or 8 years, no, that interest rate will be locked in. We will not be able to ultimately refinance it. But beginning in year 8 through the remaining life of the bonds, yes, there will be a call provision that will allow us to pay off the remaining bonds and issue new bonds at a lower interest rate for debt service savings, if that circumstance arises, right? Right now, we are in a fairly low interest rate environment, particularly on the long end. So it's a hard scenario to envision, but certainly not impossible, which is why the redemption provision will be put in.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very good answer. I think we all support the police and public works. We're a growing community. There's no question about it. I'm somewhat concerned about the police and the court still located in this building. I think for future planning, because of the number that we have recently increased, I remember we were stuck at 54 police officers. Now we're up to 75. Since we're a growth community, that we should consider long-term planning a facility for them outside. I will also mention, since I'm an old-timer, Governor Whitman had a efficiency team back in 1996, rolled through just about every municipality, had recommendations to move the police department and the court out of this building, as well as the library. So just something to think about. Thank you.
you.
Thanks, John.
Maria Janusik. These items aren't being taken separately. However, that item O, the improvements in addition to the Public Works building, that's a huge amount, almost $12 million. And to just say improvements in addition to the building, including all work and materials, I think there should be a bit more information provided. When you're talking about that kind of money, people need to know what that money is being spent for. So I think that more information should be given to Hillsborough's taxpayers. And the debt is huge. I don't know if you're calling it debt or bond or whatever, but I think, what is it right now, 50 million?
No, it's 37?
37,773.
37 million is the amount of debt authorized.
37 million what?
37,7 and change.
Okay, so that's for the properties that were purchased and whatever else was involved. I thought it was higher than that. So we're talking a lot of money, so things need to be looked at as far as where that money is going. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from the floor? Okay, seeing none, may I have a motion? Hold on a second here. Do we motion and close, or close and adopt? May I have a motion and a second to close and adopt ordinance 2025-08?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Committeeman Britting.
Yes, and I'd just like to say, I think this is a testament to the terrific financial position Hillsborough Township's in, and I just want to make sure the residents understand that this is not a direct issue of debt. This is a bond. This is different. It's very important for people to understand that, number one. Number two, it's also a testament to our S&P short-term rating, which is we have the SP1 rating, which is the highest rating, and I want to make sure people understand that from a short-term debt standpoint. We also have a AA+ bond rating, which is the second highest rating by the S&P as well, too. So without that, you won't be able to do what we are doing, and this puts us in a very good position long-term. So absolutely yes.
Committeewoman Hand.
It'd be great to have all the comments during the comment section. I will be voting no. Thank you.
Committeeman Lapani.
There's an investment in the future of Hillsborough for all residents for public safety. It's a yes.
Deputy Mayor Payne.
Yeah, so a little bit of everything everyone else said. Definitely an investment in our future. Joe, the expansion of the PD and putting them in a separate building is definitely not unnoticed. I think this expansion is going to be an immense help for their growth that they've sustained since 1991 when this building opened. We can't always do everything at once, but this is a good start to relocating some of their space to open storage space that we had in the back. I don't know if you're familiar. So we're doing what we can. Again, thanks to our amazing bond rating, we're able to bond and not increase our debt. And our debt is half of what was mentioned on the dais. So that's also very nice. Yes.
And Mayor Ciccarelli.
Yes, this bond touches parks, DPW, IT, engineering, police, social services, OEM, our seniors, admin, the library, for use by all residents. So every one of those departments, get to work. So, they've been, I know DPW's been talking for a long time, and Rich has been very happy. There's a lot of work that can be done around here, so I know we have the tile already, right? Start laying it tonight. So, thank you. Introduction of new ordinances, 2025-09. Just gonna introduce this ordinance. It's ordinance authorizing a special emergency appropriation in the amount of $350,000 for the payment of contractually required severance liabilities resulting from the retirement or termination of employees in and by the Township of Hillsborough in the County of Somerset, New Jersey. Further consideration and public hearing will be on August 12th, 2025. So may I have a motion and a second to introduce ordinance 2025-09?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Committeeman Britting?
Yes.
Committeewoman Hand?
Yes.
Committeeman Lapani?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Payne?
Yes.
Mayor Chicarelli?
Yes. Claims
So
list.
Before you go, so Mayor, I would just like, so while this is being opened and we've introduced this for public, I think what the public needs to know is how many employees are we talking about? And what this money is being used for. There was no backup provided. I know I had several questions around it. I'm asking them now because I think the information needs to be provided. How many employees are we talking about? How were we, did we not predict this? How do we know this isn't gonna happen again next year? So if that information could be provided in the interim, so folks in the township can have an opportunity to look at the information prior to the August 12th hearing, that would be great. Thank you very much.
At this time, I guess I'll recommend Sarah maybe go back and look at the meeting we had when we passed the budget and discussed this matter, so.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and Mayor, we can look at, obviously, the amount of employees that retired this year, but unless the employees tell us they're gonna retire, and some do and some don't, we can't.
Well, this ordinance is for basically the police.
Right, for this one, yeah, but I'm just saying, moving forward, I
Could you
don't.
stop retiring?
Yeah,
That'd be great.
that'd be great. Claims list. May I have a motion and a second to approve claims list 2025-12?
So moved.
Second.
Any comments from the dais on the claims list?
No.
Seeing none, any comments from the floor? Okay.
Maria Janusik. In regard to the account for the court, there are, besides Hillsborough, you've got Montgomery, Manville, Branchburg. Any fines that are collected for the other courts, are those monies paid to those municipalities, and is that shown on the claims list?
Probably, I think, Anthony, you could
So,
probably track that.
I think we talked about this before, but Hillsborough, any fines or any tickets from Hillsborough stay in Hillsborough. The Branchburg, Montgomery, and Manville, those are contracts we have with those townships. So any and all tickets and violations and revenue go directly to the town. So whether they write one ticket or 1 million tickets, all that revenue from those 3 townships go directly back to the townships.
Goes to each of those municipalities?
Correct. We don't keep any of their tickets and revenue. We have a set fee to provide shared services with those 3 towns.
Are those monies included in this claims list, or is that something separate?
I'd have to check with the CFO.
I'm sorry, what?
I'd have to check with the CFO on that.
It's a net zero either way. Whatever comes in will go out.
Right.
If it's even on the.
I don't
if it's-
think,
if it's
we
on
don't
the
even
claim list.
receive it.
Yeah.
It goes,
Payable to them.
it's paid. We don't receive it.
All right, then, well, that money comes here, so, but you're giving that money to the municipalities.
As part of their court fees, they're paying it directly to that.
I'm sorry, what?
As part of their court fees, they're paying it to that township.
Part of part of the court fees
Yeah?
of the townships? The townships are paying?
If I get arrested in Branchburg, I'm paying my fee to Branchburg. I'm not paying it to Hillsborough, even though it was processed here. Right? Does that make sense? Like, you're writing the check to Branchburg.
I don't know what you're referring to.
Well,
Which
can you
fees?
restate your question then?
We tried to
What I
answer it.
asked
I
was
think we answered it,
if
so I don't-
you have besides Hillsborough's municipal court, you also have Branchburg, Montgomery, and Manville courts here.
Yep, we
So when they
understand that.
come and someone is fined and someone pays fines, where does that money go?
To whatever township they were convicted in, or whatever fine they committed the offense.
So how does that work? How someone writes out a check to the municipality?
I think we answered it twice.
They
No,
pay the
I'm not
municipality.
understanding. I'm sorry.
They pay whatever municipality wrote the ticket.
So if I got a speeding ticket in Branchburg and I had court here, because this is the court that was held in, I pay my fine to Branchburg. Does that make sense?
Right, but you're not in Branchburg, you're here, so how are they working that? They're just taking those checks and sending them to?
Ma'am,
U.S. Postal
everything is
Service,
done
yeah.
online and in person, and however you pay it. It does not get paid here. There's no checks cut to Hillsborough unless they were arrested and processed by Hillsborough. They're just here from a functional building.
And to be fair, the court is a vicinage. It's an adjunct separate to the township almost. They are, in our building, but they're pretty much their own entity, and they're overseen by
separate.
Yeah, we
by
can't
the
even
by
get
the
there.
vicinage. Not to complicate things, but they're really not giving money to Hillsborough.
I can't get back there.
Yeah, so they can't even come to our parties. They're basically separate. Okay? What else you got?
Who is separate? I'm
The
not-
whole court
The
system.
judicial program here is separate.
So that's what I'm asking. Any money that's collected in the court that's all handled over there, whether
Yes.
they're doing it by computer or whatever.
Correct.
There's nothing connected with the claims list over here.
No.
That is correct.
All right.
Thank you. Okay.
So I just want to address Committee Woman Hand for a second. So you want to know how much advance notice do you want you want to know how many people are
I'm sorry.
retiring this year?
I'm sorry, what's your question?
Again, you want to know how many people are retiring this year?
It was a matter of going back to the 350,000.
Right?
If we are doing a special emergency appropriation,
Yeah?
this sounds like we had no idea this was happening.
Correct.
It had not been accrued for, prepared for. So we're not looking at names, but it's a matter of how many employees are we talking? Was this 20 employees? Was this 10? Was this 1? Just wanting to understand what the...
So I'll pull the email for her.
the
But
number.
so there's, as soon as we get noticed, it's the emails that come out from the PD or any other department saying that, when we get the HR notices that people
So-
are retiring, this is that. And then there is appropriations. This specifically ran above the normal,
Yeah.
but we'll document it for
Deputy
you and
Mayor,
email it
my
again.
point is, if we get escrow fees returned to us, I get 6 pages of backup for like $1,200 of a escrow fee being returned to somebody. This is $350,000, and I do not have 1 page of backup. Just asking for some, just asking for
We'll
info.
resend.
So,
Since
from
I'm
Harriet.
the old man in the room, we've been just paying it outright in the budget when the police retire and put it into the budget line item. Joe Manzo brought it to our attention that there is a program available to allow to break it out over 5 years so that you're not absorbing all that impact on a retirement. We could have used this program years ago, but to be fair, I don't think the previous CFO brought it to any of our attentions. And Joe Manzo, with his infinite knowledge of 40-plus years, said, you should do this. Why would you want to take a hit on all these retirements in the one budget year? You are allowed to do this by state law. Makes sense. Why take a hit in 1 year on police retirements if we can bust it out over 5? That's the reason we're doing it. So it's not that we haven't in the past. We've just absorbed the cost in the budget of that year. This program that was brought to our attention allows us to do it over 5 with no penalty. It sounds like a better fiscal plan for our residents. As far as who's retiring when, we have an idea who's retiring, but we don't know exactly who's retiring until we actually get the notice because we've had times where people said they're going to retire and decide, you know what, I'll stay a little longer. So that's essentially why we're doing it. It's a program to help alleviate a tax burden on a one-year basis, which we've been taking over the past ever.
I want to close the book on the claims list.
Yes.
So roll call, please.
Motion to close.
Roll call.
Thank you.
Committeeman Britting?
Yes.
Committeewoman Hand?
Yes.
Committeeman Lapani?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Payne?
Yes.
Mayor Chicarelli?
Yes. New business. None. Public comments for matters not on the agenda. Ms. Brake, please read the statement regarding the public comments.
The Township Committee welcomes input from the public. Please state your name and address and spell your name for the record. You will be given 1 3-minute allotment for your comments. Please understand that this public forum is not structured as a question and answer session. Comments are to be addressed to the mayor. Again, please keep your comments to 3 minutes. Thank you.
So, any public comments for matters not on the agenda? Come on up.
Come on, before we close.
Maria Janusik. As the owners of property on Champlain Road in Hillsborough, I and my husband received a letter dated June 2, 2025, via certified mail with a return receipt requested from Environmental Technology, Inc., ETI, regarding property on Champlain Road that is identified in that letter as Block 86, lots 21.01 and 21.02, formerly Lot 21. The letter states regarding application for freshwater wetlands letter of interpretation, line verification extension, and the applicant is M&M at Champlain Road LLC. And that letter includes an 11 by 17, 11-inch by 17-inch wetlands mapping plan, which states on it Block 86, Lot 21. And that's what's being shown as having freshwater wetlands. Block 86, Lot 21 no longer exists. Block 86, Lot 21 was purchased by the governing body of Hillsborough Township back in, I think it was 2016, 2017. That purchase was facilitated by the planning board attorney, Eric Bernstein. And then there were meetings, planning board meetings, to subdivide that property. And that was done. That property was owned by Hillsborough. It was purchased with affordable housing funds. And that property was subdivided, and that became Block 86, Lot 21.01, and Block 86, Lot 21.02. Block 86, Lot 21.01 has a development built on it. That property was sold by Hillsborough's governing body for $1. After that property was purchased with affordable housing funds in excess of $2 million. That one property was sold for $1 to the developer. And now Block 86, Lot 21.02 is supposedly going to have affordable housing built on it by M&M at Champlain Road. They had an application before the planning board. That application was approved, but that property continues to be owned by Hillsborough. The property record card for Block 86, Lot 21.02 shows the owner as Township of Hillsborough, and it has a valuation of $2,347,500. That is a separate lot, yet I, as a property owner adjacent to that, was given a wetlands, freshwater wetlands diagram showing Block 86, Lot 21. It no longer exists. What is happening with that? In the meantime, this developer, M&M, is working on a application for a development at the Glengarry Quarry, and this development, or this application for affordable housing is part of a settlement agreement that M&M has with the township. So I'd like to know what's going on, because this very, very much impacts my property. Block 86, lot 21.02 has no frontage. I don't know what's being done there. I don't know what kind of permits have been applied for or gotten. I don't know what's going on. So this is something that needs to be dealt with. Why does M&M at Camplain Road LLC have anything to do with that property when it's owned by Hillsborough with a valuation of $2,347,500? I'd like to know. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from the, all I can say is, suggest about that is come to the planning board or go to the planning department and ask them for details on progress of that, those developments. All right, may I have a motion and a second to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Committeeman Britting.
Yes.
Committeewoman Hand. Yes. Committeeman Lapani.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Payne.
Yes, please.
Mayor Chigarelli.
Yes. Let's see. 4th of July's gone by. Everybody have a good summer. We'll see you in August, and enjoy the heat.